Hi, everyone, and welcome back to AwCrap Tech for Everyone, where we try and keep tech from being scary. And today we're talking about hearing aids, not the kind that cost as much as a used car. These are the ELEHEAR Beyond hearing aids. These are the ones that I use and have worn for 4 months. Just this week, I received another pair of ELEHEAR Beyond hearing aids. These. What's different about them? Nothing, except for the color. The standard ones have this kind of silvery color to them. Now they additionally come out with some in a new champagne color, a warm color that goes with warm skin tones. Yes, I have been wearing the ELEHEAR Beyonds for 4 months now, and I love them. I'm being very honest about this. I've been a hearing aid user for 11 years now. I've had prescription ones that cost thousands of dollars, so I spent all that money. The second pair were the Rexton hearing aids from Costco. Obviously, hearing aid technology has improved in recent years, so you can expect some improvement of them also. But I was at a point where I was about to go back and seriously look into spending thousands of dollars more to get a better pair. So you know what though? These little suckers are the best that I've owned, thanks to the new ruling that allows over-the-counter hearing aids here in the USA. In this video, I'm going to show you the setup and maintenance of your ELEHEAR Beyond hearing aids, and you'll also find out more about my feelings about these hearing aids. A lot of videos like to do an unboxing. I don't do that. If you've watched any of my videos before, I know that you can open a box. You don't need me to do that for you on camera, but I will show you what comes with the ELEHEAR Beyonds and how to use those. Now, when you receive your hearing aids, inside you'll have a case with hearing aids. Now, one thing you'll notice is that if you look at the hearing aids themselves, they have a little sticker on each one. You'll have to remove that because it won't charge it otherwise. So they recommend that the first thing you do after you get the hearing aids is to charge them up. I don't need to charge it up here fully. To go completely from dead to fully charged with the ELEHEAR hearing aids, and in this case, takes 2.5 hours, as long as you have a good charging connection. The battery life of the hearing aids depends on how you're using it. If you're doing a lot of Bluetooth streaming, it'll wear down faster. With normal mode, without a lot of Bluetooth streaming, the battery will last about 18 hours. I've had some run down as soon as 15 hours, but that's usually when I'm doing a lot of other Bluetooth streaming, talking on the phone with the Bluetooth through the hearing aid. But let's talk more about how all of that operates. So yeah, it's a sturdy little charging case. It holds 4 full charges. So you could go to a weekend getaway, go camping or someplace, and not worry about charging this up. Now, underneath in the box below where the hearing aid case was, you've got one good charging cord, USB-A to USB-C, because on the case itself it takes a USB-C. The other one has two flaps in it. In one it has a variety of domes for the hearing aids. There are a bunch of different options for domes. They are these kind of conical domes, have 2 parts. The thing I liked about these is they don't put a lot of pressure on the ear canal. I like the ones that are like this teepee style. So I'm going to take the dome off carefully, just grab it with 2 fingers and pull it off. New one's on. That should work better for me there. That works better for me. So the tip that you choose affects more than just the comfort. It changes how you hear speech. Experiment with them till you get the right fit, the one that works best for your ear. A cleaning kit with a brush. This is very handy. You don't want to lose it. Keep it somewhere secure with your hearing aids, because as you use them, you will find that they really should be cleaned regularly. It also comes with some replacement wax guards. This is also very important. It has several of these little wax filter, and I will show how you use those in a bit here. It has a nicely illustrated manual, a real manual. Often they just give you a link to the app on many tech products that you get, and a real support phone number. And their support is really quite good. They have an audiologist on staff in New York City. These hearing aids, if you compare them to some other brands, these are a little bit chunky because they now have to include the rechargeable battery instead of the old ones use these little tiny batteries that you have to replace every week or so, because this has a 20-hour battery. Again, if you're not using Bluetooth. Has AI technology built into it with Bluetooth 5.3. Let's go through the setup on these. First, as I mentioned, charge everything up. Next thing is you will see on this little flap card that's inside the packaging, you'll see two QVC codes, one for the App Store and one for Google Play, where you can download the app. I already have the app on my phone. The apps are free. Now, assuming you have them charged up, you need to pair them with your phone. As soon as you open the case, it should allow you to pair them. Said, congratulations, I'm connected. There is a notice that came up on mine saying that there's an update. When you get notices for updates, go ahead and update it as soon as you can. When you have a moment to sit there with it while it goes through the process. So, and we have the app. I get a notice now that I've connected that I have the app on. I connected it. So to use the app, really, you need to put them in your ears. Okay, I now have the two hearing aids in. The app is pretty easy to understand. At the top, you have a default hearing mode that's pretty good at adapting to different settings. But beyond that, you have settings for general, restaurant, music, or TV. Default tries to adjust for you and does a really good job. But in certain settings, I found it helped for me to manually select that page. You have the hearing aid function, which is auto on or off, and next to that there's a little eye symbol like you often get in some apps to say that there's more information. Auto has worked fine for me. If you find out that you're on a phone call with Bluetooth and you're getting some outside interference, you can just turn off the hearing aid function, which makes it just a receiver for the phone call, and on if you feel like it's trying to auto switch too much. I had never had that problem. Auto works fine. Under the volume controls, you can set the volume of each ear individually or both of them together. Speech enhance. Now this is a great feature of the ELEHEAR Beyond hearing aids. The auto enhance helps you understand speech, which typically is the reason you got hearing aids, correct? But then you have the tuning option down below the independent or together volume control. The tuning, if you click on the arrow next to that, it now shows you the volume. You can tell it whether you want the tone to be brighter or not as bright. Underneath the options you have for each side, the right and left, you have the volume for that side, but you also have a tone selection to make the sound brighter or not so bright. I mean, in some cases it can be too bright, where sharp sounds like clanging a dish or pot may sound too tinny. I've never really had that happen with the ELEHEARs. I've had them happen with other hearing aids. Phone call boost I use all the time. So you have the phone boost option, but the app really is pretty straightforward. Not much to it. They have a support option that actually gives you the option of getting some support. How they sound, as I mentioned, I have been wearing these as my primary hearing aids for the last 4 months since I got them. I love them. Now, one thing you'll find is since these are over-the-counter hearing aids and quite inexpensive compared to the fancy prescription ones, you don't tune it like you might with a prescription hearing aids. These have a sound profile that is made for the typical aging ear. For those of us that lost our hearing over time, that typical profile is for hearing loss at the higher ends. For example, after I put in my ELEHEAR hearing aids, I started hearing things I wasn't hearing before. I heard birds chirping in the trees, and that also makes it easier to understand speech, especially if you have someone with a high voice that often whispers to you. What stands out for me is that speech is so much clearer, even in noisy places. And I'm being completely honest with you. When I got the first time I went into a noisy restaurant, I was amazed that I could hear the waiter talking about the options. I usually had to ask my friends after the food server had gone what the specials are, because I didn't hear them. I'm hearing that now. In restaurant mode, it's set to try to pick up voices directly in front of you and reduce the noise all around you. Bluetooth streaming for calls, podcasts, and music. Hands-free on iPhone and Android. Now, the quality of the audio for phones I found really excellent. I could understand the other person much clearer. The hearing test. Since the ELEHEAR use a standard profile that can be changed manually to cover more of the treble or bass, you don't have to do a hearing test with it. You can, and I think it's a good idea to get an idea of what your hearing is. They have an online hearing test. I'm not going to show you all of the details on how to maintain your ELEHEAR hearing aids because that is all very well documented in the manual that comes with the ELEHEAR Beyonds and online on the ELEHEAR YouTube channel, which you can also access through their website. So it's now been a few days since I started recording this video. How-to videos can be pretty tricky if you want to do them fully and completely. I wanted to give this as much treatment as I could. Now, having said that, there may be some things that are missing still. Please leave a comment below in the comments section. Also, I recommend you join the AwCrap community. By going to the awcrap.tech website and signing up for the membership, you'll get the first 3 months free of the AwCrap community. It's a place for us to interact directly, one-on-one. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.